This conference is not only going to change the course, the direction of our life on this planet, but it's going to change the way in which we consult with each other about the fundamental decisions that shape our direction on this planet. This global forum has played an absolutely indispensable part in that process, because the interaction between people and their governments here at the forum and at the Rio Center has also had its counterpart in the reporting by the media to the vast millions of people out there who you and they in different ways represent. This is the first truly global conference in the sense that literally hundreds of millions of people are out there with us here.
I'm only a child, yet I know we are all part of a family, 5 billion strong. In fact, 30 million species strong. And borders and governments will never change that. I'm only a child, yet I know we are all in this together and should act as one single world towards one single goal.
Man has sobered up somewhat, and the environment issue has made him realize that he does have to make very hard choices. He hasn't got it made. He can't have it always. He's got to decide, and in deciding, it's the deeper sense of values which is finally going to determine what he decides.
It was not as much optimism as excitement and expectation and hope. Hope that this World Conference, which attracted more world leaders than had ever assembled before, would in fact be able to move us off the dime onto a pathway to a more sustainable future, to help make a fundamental change of course in industrial civilization.
The environment crisis, perhaps most of all, makes it clear that man can no longer avoid the necessity of choice, because the choices we make are really going to determine the future course of human evolution on this planet. And while nobody can put a date by which we will have reached the point of no return, it seems very clear to me from all the evidence I've seen from the scientific world that the choices we make in this generation will really determine whether we make it or not.
We've got the basis for change now, but we've got to push like hell to make sure it takes place.
The scientists clearly have reached a consensus that it is in fact human activity, our activity, that is causing this crisis, which is a crisis of survival. We have to change our behavior, and we have to change the system within which that behavior has its impact. As long as there is a chance that we can succeed, and we have to think there still is, that chance is diminishing day by day. Every day that we fail to move in the right direction is a step towards disaster and makes it much more likely to happen, much more difficult to stop. Young people have tremendous political influence if they know how to exercise it. And it is ultimately at the political level that the action process must be led. Movements like this that engage the excitement of young people, that engage their attention and provide channels for their commitment to a better world, a better planet. And that's the kind of thing that inspires them. Now, not just dry UN resolutions, however, even dry UN resolutions can be put into much more exciting terms when you translate them into human terms. It takes knowledge of why it is that this UN is so important to their future. What does it mean? It's not just an abstract organization way out there. What does it mean to them? What happens if there weren't a UN? But it means that young people need to understand their role and understand why that role can be changed and must be changed, and they can exercise tremendous influence. We can't avoid change. It's imminent. It's already happening in some cases. But by 2020, I'd like to be in a position of saying, well, we've avoided the worst. We haven't done it all, but we're on track. We've made the fundamental changes in the way we conduct our affairs, our private lives, our governments, our relationships with each other and with the earth. And we're now on the track where we can envisage a sustainable and secure future.